Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is, we'll get there. It is Thursday, March 28th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. It is week 13 of 2024, and in my neck of the woods, it is currently 50 degrees with a high of 59 and a low of 34. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my broadcast. I'm here for the next 3 hours for coloring, companionship, chat, friendship, giggles and laughs, pretty pictures, and most importantly, the what, how, and why of adult coloring. Welcome to my YouTube peeps who come in and chat with me. That is always fun. Welcome to my YouTube peeps who come in and watch. My lurkers up in the balcony. And welcome to my Facebook peeps who see this broadcast after the fact when I download it into my group, Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Alrighty. Hello, Sarah. Christine, hello. Stacy, hello. All right, let me pop my other monitor up here. Hold on. There we go. Hope everybody's having a decent day. Let's see who else is popping in. Guys, please don't forget to push that like button. That's really important to me. All right. So the first project, I always work on 2 projects. The first one is a duet. And this is from one of my books or an upcoming book. I always give it away for free in my group. You guys can download it and then color it with me. And then the second project that I'm working on, this one happens to be from City and Girl Coloring Book. It's a really cool book. It's by a Korean artist. And there are some really neat images in there. All right. So this is the image that I'm working on. Worked on the birds last night. Some of the leaves. Not too much more to go on this, but it's still a really great project. Hello, Mamie. Mamie. So glad to see you, Mamie. All right. So grab yourself a paper towel so you can rest your hand on it. Get your swatch sheet. And we're good to go. Okay. So how's everybody doing today? Julie, hello. All right. Now, I'm going to use my light color of the purple of the mauve. And I'm just going to soften these edges a little bit. And the way you do that is you use a, hello Linda, uno, dos, tres, the three amigos are here. And the way I'm doing that is I'm using my lighter color on the edge. And just making like a haze with it. Okay. Michelle, hello. Michelle, how are you doing this evening? See how I'm adding that slightly lighter color to that edge? And I'm making it very light with my pencil. You want to soften up that look. And then we'll go ahead with our skin color. And put that back up. So guys, how are you doing today? Win, lose, or draw? Oh, Michelle says good. Stacy May says draw. Okay. Hello, Belle. Belle's just going to watch tonight. Now, notice that I'm putting my lighter color in the center of my arm. And that way, where'd my brush go? There we go. And that way, again, that gives us our dimension. And then I'm going to touch up my brown just a little bit more under our shading here. Let's see here. And I'm just smoothing out my neck area a little bit. Oh no, my birds died. All right, and then we'll blend that to make it nice and smooth. Now, I'm using my Faber-Castell 103 to blend this. And notice how that is making everything look softer. Isn't that pretty? And notice how I'm blending over everything, including the skin color. Any questions about that? All right, let me pull out. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, Belle, you got some more press-on nails. That's cool. Okay, now, Faber-Castell 103. On our skirt, we want this to look, what's the word I want? Very light. Very soft. That's the word I want. very flowy. There you go. Shimmery. Floofy, I guess, would be another word. Floo, Floofy. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Any questions? And forgive me, I need to use a tissue. So sorry. Belle, how are you doing today? Okay. I'm going to start up on the hair. Linda, you said draw? Okay, good. Mamie is draw. Christine says lose draw. Okay. So a loose draw is, let's see, not as good as a draw, but not as bad as a lose. Okay, let's work on some hair here. So we have a dark brown. I'll swatch these for you once I get them. A medium brown. And a light brown. Yeah, you're tired from the ER all night, but thankful to be home, but don't like not knowing what's going on with the heart. That's the lose draw. So the hospital still hasn't figured that out. And Belle didn't forget to give me a thumbs up. Yay. Now, obviously, if you're new, watch the broadcast first and then you can decide later about the thumbs up. I don't want you to just arbitrarily do that. All right, so this is my dark. It's pretty dark chocolate. Oh, good. Let's talk about food. My medium is a goldish brown. And my light, this happens to be, for those of you that have color, this is a color, which one is it? 426. And it's called Bisque. Yeah, I remember you telling me that the system went down. I didn't know it was still down. That is wild. Okay, I'm going to start with my dark. Mamie, so glad to see you. I'm on my Mamie song tonight. Guys, who's coloring this with me? So here's my darkest area with my darkest pencil. Now, oh, Belle, you did a flip through. Oh, yay. Which book? Thank you, Belle. Linda, you're coloring with me. Julie, are you doing Procreate, Julie? Now, like I said, remember, don't pound your pencil into the paper. Color like you're coloring on a balloon. Remember, guys, when you lay down color, you're going to have to blend it. That's why I keep telling you is to color it like you're coloring with a balloon, on a balloon. You don't want harsh edges with your pencils. Oh, Christine, you got your crystal book. Christine, how do you like it? Now, remember, grayscale is not fill in the blank. It's a whole different set of skills from doing line art. Oh, Bella's doing, she did the flip through of the critters with the ballet shoes. Yeah. And check out how cool this is already looking. Christine, you like it a lot. You got it because you want to learn how to do realistic coloring. Yeah. Christine, you'll like I think the jewelry that's in there as well. Okay, and you can already see how beautiful this is starting to look. Hello, Kitty. Oh, you've been practicing crystals and gems and ran into the book on Amazon and it was like, oh, that's perfect. All right. And Christine, I'll get your PDFs to you tonight. Kitty, good to see you. Now, I'm going to stop here for the moment on my darker color. I'll continue with it later on the rest of the hair that's going down her front. All right, let's get back up to the hair up here. Now, for my medium, it's a goldish brown. And I want you to notice that when I put it in, I also back blended over my previous color. Why? Because that causes your previous color to pick up highlights of that next color that you're putting on. So in other words, it's not like you're doing a picture puzzle here where you lay the pieces side by side. Right? And this goes into your blending. Blending, 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 rawhide. Make sure that you understand that. You want these colors to merge together as smoothly as possible. And don't forget to turn your pencil, right? Turning your pencil keeps that point as sharp as possible for the longest amount of time that you can. Isn't that beautiful? Excuse me. Now remember, when you're coloring grayscale like this, or any coloring, you want to finesse the piece. Does anybody remember what that means? Somebody tell me what I mean by finessing the piece. Oh my gosh, excuse me. No, it doesn't mean work the details, but that is another thing, of course, that you should be doing with your piece. What does it mean when I say finesse the piece? It means to, what it means is to add those little extra things as you're coloring along that make it a little extra special. And as you're coloring your grayscale, it's going to become so natural to you that when you're doing something like coloring the hair like this, all of a sudden you're going to find that you're putting in your own little tweaks to make it look really cool. Somebody look up the definition of finesse and tell everybody in the room what it means. Finesse. Okay, now I'm going to come in with my eggshell color, which is my lightest color of this. Define finesse.
Finesse means intricate and refined delicacy.
Let's see if I can get this. Here you go. Intricate and refined delicacy. Do something in a subtle and delicate manner. There we go. Stacy got it. What it means to work the details is to color every little teeny tiny nook and cranny on your piece, and you're treating everything on your piece as equal value. Finesse, to finesse something also means style. And so I'm not just plugging and chugging colors here. I'm coloring it so that it looks really cool. And adding in just those little touches that make it extra special. Oh, chicken Caesar salad. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Now I'm going to take my eggshell. No, it's the bisque. See this brown that I put in right here? I'm going to add, here's the finesse part. I'm going to add a light swatch of coloring on top of that. Isn't that beautiful? Think of finesse as style and class. Check it out. And then I'm going to come up here. Now, right now, this is not good blending. See how streaky that looks in here? So using my eggshell, I'm going to blend and smooth this out a little bit. I also like to call this my tweaking time. And notice how this hair is getting smoother and smoother as I'm doing this. Now, also notice at the moment, I'm not touching the stuff at the top because this is the hair that's being highlighted by the moonlight. Okay. Now, I'm going to finger blend this. And look how soft that really makes this look. Isn't that beautiful? Oh yeah, I've done short hair. In fact, the second project I'm doing tonight is short hair. Okay, darkest hair color, my dark brown. Let's go ahead and get these strands on her neck. Ah! Isn't that cool? And we'll go ahead and catch this by her face. Oh, straight or short hair? Oh yeah, I've done that. And I'm going to work a little more detail with this hair over her shoulder. Again with my darkest brown. Any questions? Exactly, Christine. She's got a cute mole on her neck. It's funny you should say that because that's exactly what I was thinking. I'll go ahead and highlight that a little more. It's there. Yeah, I know we're laughing about it, and we call that a happy accident. But I think that it makes the piece look more realistic. All right, so let's go to the other side. This is where I started in with my darker brown. And now I'm going to follow up with my lighter brown. Now, by the way, when I talk about back blending, you don't necessarily have to back blend over the entire previous color. Back blending serves two purposes. It helps you blend your colors together, right? It makes that transition seamless. And by adding that slightly lighter color over your previous color, it smooths everything out and makes it look natural. So sometimes you back blend all the way, Sometimes you don't. Does that make sense? Mamie, does that make sense to you? Guys, when you color in my group and you're learning coloring from me, I want you to think. And the neat thing about thinking about your coloring when you're doing it is that it completely removes you from thinking about other problems, right? I want you to be smart about your coloring. Okay, so we've got a lighter color. Whoa, let me get where I need to be here. We got a lighter color on this hair. It's by her neck. In other words, when I'm telling you about doing something, for example, about back blending, don't back blend just to do it. Back blend because you understand what I'm telling you. Okay, let me pull out. Oh man, this is pretty. Check it out. Okay, now I'm going to come in with my darkest brown. And I'm going to start to highlight this. Now, I use the term highlight when I'm talking about shading an area. So I'm highlighting this in my darkest brown. Now, I want you to notice that the darker brown skips on this. And it skips down to closer to the bottom. Check it out. Okay, Kitty, thank you. And look how beautiful that looks. Okay. Now, it looks a little wonky because we've just got this darker color. But coloring is also all about seeing how things are going to look when you get your other colors around it. So now I'm going to back up here, come in with my medium color, and start to connect the dots. See how I'm blending this together now? Any questions? And notice how I'm working my medium color right next to my dark. Okay, now, if you look at your grayscale on this portion of the hair, we have another shade of what's going to be brown that has popped up. And this brings up another comment is when you're doing your light, medium, and dark, don't lock yourself into just using those 3 pencils. If you encounter another area that's another shade of gray, which I have, accommodate it by picking out another brown. So I need a brown that's a little bit lighter than this, which I picked earlier, but darker than this. Let's see here. Hallelujah. Let's see what we got here. Okay. I'm going to go with a goldish color. So we now have 4 colors here. We have our original light, medium, dark. And then we have our next color, our goldish color, which is a little lighter than this, but darker than this. And let's go ahead and put that in. Isn't that pretty? Now, the reason that we're seeing this is because this side of her hair is towards what? The moon. Back to my medium, down near the bottom. And then a little bit of my dark. As we get down to the tips. Now again, don't pound in your darks. Okay, Julie, thank you. And then I'm going to come in with my gold. That's my new brown that I put in. And blend that in. And again, through the magic of colored pencils, even though I'm going over my darker color, my darkest color with my gold, that darkest color holds its own. Now, obviously, it takes on the characteristics of that color that you're putting on top. But it still comes in as your darkest color. All right. And I've got a little area of blue that I missed when I originally did her dress. So let's go ahead and get that colored in. That's my medium blue. And then I'm going to take a little bit of dark blue and very lightly shade right next to the hair. See it? And then come back with my medium blue and blend that in. Why would I put that darker blue in there, guys? Somebody tell me. I'm actually going to come in with a little bit of my darker blue on the edge of this panel here. And then blend over it with my lightest blue. Thank you, Annie. Hi, Annie. That's exactly right. It creates a little bit of that shadow and depth around the hair that the hair is lying on top of the dress. Darker blue, lighter blue to blend. Let me pull out. Any questions? Annie, we haven't seen you for a while. What's going on? Okay, back at the top of the hair. I'm using my gold now. That's the fourth brown that I brought in. Let me go to my medium. Okay, Belle, thank you. Here's my medium brown. So I'm alternating between my medium brown and my gold. Oh, Annie, you got the Medical Gnomes coloring book. All right. So there's my medium brown in those little V corners. And then my gold. And we'll back blend over that just on that edge to smooth out the blending. Annie, I think you're going to like it. Okay, so check out this gold now. Back to my medium brown. Back to my gold right here. Now be careful that you don't go out too far with your hair color, because these areas right here are background. They're not hair color. So I'm not going to go out any further with my gold. So Annie, are you willing to do a flip through of it for me? If you like the book. Okay, then I'm going to go to my lightest color of my light, medium, dark. Oh, Annie, thank you. And I'm going to stop right there because, again, remember, these little tendrils of hair are lit up by the moon. Okay, so back to these tendrils right here in the middle. This is my lightest color. This is the color that's that bisque that I showed you. Keep your point sharp, don't get sloppy with it. Let me pull out. Now, what I want you to notice, that as I'm adding this bisque color, that is making this hair along the side brighter. Keep that technique in mind. Let me sharpen. There are times when you color that you add a color in order to create a contrast. And by darkening the hair with this bisque color, it's making the hair on the very outside shine from the moon. Any questions about that? Okay. Now, this highlighted hair here is sticking out like a sore thumb. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my gold and I'm very, very lightly going to color over this light spot, this lighter hair. See it? And look how beautifully that blends in. Any questions about that? All right, guys, what do you think? Now, I want you to notice that I'm taking my gold and on my medium brown, I'm coloring over the top of it. And the reason that I'm doing that, Mamie, is because that medium brown now in the hair is picking up the attributes of the gold. And that's the point. That's why you blend your colors together. Everybody see that? Isn't that beautiful? Now, I want you to notice something here. What do you notice about this grouping of hair and this group of hair? Guys, what's the difference? Somebody tell me. Good guess, Stacy. Okay. Because I went over this side of the hair with the gold, we've got the gold sheen in here, but not over here. So I need to balance that out by adding my gold tones on the hair over here. Everybody see that? So I'm going to balance this out by adding the gold here. And again, I'm adding the gold on the browns, on everything but the darkest brown. So now we've got the hair looking similar. It's balanced. Make sense? There you go. Does that make sense now that I've shown you this? And again, guys, this stuff is not hard at all. Annie, the question was, or the comment made was, that the gold in here, the coloring on this side was not balanced out with the coloring on this side. Does that make sense to you guys now that I mentioned that? Okay. We got a very good start on the hair. Andy, that's exactly right. Balancing the highlights. And again, I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to blend over the top. And that's going to smooth everything out. Guys, don't be afraid to use your fingers. The heat from your hand is a perfect blending tool. All right, I'm ready to go to my next project. So this is the City and Girl coloring book. I've been working on this project for you, particularly on our skin tones. Are you learning something tonight? Are you having fun? Are you relaxing? Hold on, guys. I need to put a sweater on. Okay, sweater's on. Now I feel more comfy. Okay, I'm just adding a little highlighting to my face here. So the last time that I was working on this, I was working on our plants. Guys, what are you coloring while I'm doing this? Linda's working on an Easter basket. All right. Now I'm going to bring in a little bit of gold here. Kitty, you're on your Lisa Frank book. And notice how that gold adds a little bit of brown to that stem. For a more realistic look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up and I'm going to isolate my stems here. And I'm not going to, well, I'm going to add just a touch of that gold on that slightly larger stem. Not much. All right, let me pull out. Now, the reason that I'm doing the green or greenery around the hair is because I want to show you how that green is going to affect what color we choose for the hair. So the point of that being is this. If you're not sure what to color hair and you have things like greenery around it, color the greenery. And then color the hair. And that way you'll cue yourself in as to what you want to do with it. Okay, Annie. So let me go ahead and start attacking these leaves here on the right. So I've got my darker green. And then I'm going to come in with a darker green after that. And add that little bit of color variance. And then over here, I'm just going to go with a darker green. And again, I encourage you to use different shades when you're coloring something like this. All right, and let's get that little leaf up here. Okay. Christine, good night. And don't forget that if you're going to order any more supplies from Amazon, to do it through affiliate. You asked me to remind you. Annie, you said that you subbed. Oh, you subscribed to my channel. Okay. Okay, let me sharpen. Now again, I'm just putting on my base green color. You know that I'm going to come back and shade and shadow that, right? Guys, what are you coloring while I'm doing this? I know a couple of you already answered. And guys, please don't forget to like this broadcast. Okay. Darker green on my centers. And let's go up to the top. I'll lay the groundwork on there as well. Don't forget to turn your pencil. Oh, Annie, you've already, oh, to Christina, you already have me in my favorites. Okay. All right, let me pull out. Now, obviously, these leaf centers are not blended, and it looks awful, right? Linda, that'll be my next picture. if it isn't too far away from Easter, I'll go ahead and do an Easter picture from my Easter book. I may do that yet. We'll see. Okay, light green. All right, hold on here. All right, the underside of my leaf. I'm going to go with a combo green. I've got a medium green here and then a darker green. And we'll do the same thing here on the other underside. Remember guys, when you use your two shades of whatever color on an area, it makes all the difference in the world. All right, let me come back with my light green here. All right, check it out. Now, obviously, all these leaves have these dark centers. I'll be going back and blending those. Now, we've talked about this before, that when you have an item on a page, you want to make them consistent colors. Now, obviously, there's exceptions to that. But because this is a relatively simple page, there's not a lot of detail on it, I still want to use a consistent color. So it works both ways, that when you have something that's not complicated, a consistent color is going to look good. Okay, check it out. All right, let me pull out. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? Now, let's go back in. And let's start blending up these centers. because right now this isn't the way to leave these leaves. So check out my second green here. And notice how I am blending out that center, which you'll be able to see if I put it on camera. And I'm also adding a little streaking to the leaf. Any question? Isn't that pretty how that streaking is really making that leaf come to life? All right. Kitty, good night. Now notice how I'm blending out this line. We want to get rid of that harshness, that harsh line. And also notice how I'm adding that extra shading on the leaf here. All right, let's continue with this here. All right, and let's roll this around here. Notice how I'm blending out that green? And shading the leaf itself. All right. Now, notice in some instances I'm just coloring half the leaf. And that'll look really cool. Julie, good night. Thanks for stopping by. Any questions about what I'm doing with these leaves? Now remember, you want to do each leaf a little differently than your previous one. See how I'm doing this edge a little differently? I'm just doing the bottom and a little bit of the top. And check out the shading on the bottom of this leaf. This isn't the bottom, actually, this is the internal part. I misspoke. I'm going to blend that up with my light green. And then I'm going to work on the bottom of the leaf with a darker color. And I'm going to combo this color. I've got my first green in here. And then I'm going to come in with a darker green. Remember guys, anytime you can mix your colors like this, your pages are going to look so much better. All right, a couple more leaves here. Going to soften this edge. Going to shade this edge. Let me pull out so you can see the full effect. All right. Let me just do a little finessing here. Now, the hair. Let me look for something real quick. I'm going to keep this very simple, this whole piece. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put black hair on her. Can't do red or brown really. Red wouldn't look good because of the blouse. Brown wouldn't look good. Just wouldn't, well. I'm debating between brown and black. Let's go with the brown. So I'll pull a dark, medium, and light brown. If I try to do black, black is going to interfere with the bow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same colors that I've used on my Moonlight Girl. So if you've already pulled your browns for her, you've got the browns for this one. So we'll do our dark, our medium, and this time the gold is going to be the light. So let me start up at the very top where the bow is. Linda, good night. You have a 6:45 a.m. doctor appointment. Woohoo! So for Michelle, she told the nurse she wanted an appointment where she wouldn't have to wait so long. Yeah, the later in the day that you have appointments, the longer the wait. Michelle, good night. You can take a nap when you get home. Okay, so let's start our dark hair. Or our dark brown, excuse me. Good night, Linda. Good night, Linda. Good night, Linda. So glad you were with us today. Okay, so let's check out the brown on either side. She said good night. Thank you, Michelle. Good night, Wally. Okay, Then we're going to do our what? Our medium. Notice how I'm back blending into my darker color. Why do we back blend? Because we want one color to what? Seamlessly disappear into the next. And then we've got our gold. All right, let me pull out. And I'm actually going to change up my medium color. And change that to a reddish brown. And blend that in. Okay, let me pull out. Let's take a look at this. All right. Here's my darkest color. me move my camera. Sorry for the wiggling. We'll get there. We will. Now, here's my dark hair up near the top and near the footies of the bird. Then my medium. Back with my dark to catch these few little curls right here. Was a little girl with a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. And then we'll come in with our gold. And then I'm going to come back over my gold with my medium. Now, as I've told you before, see how I've got a nice little highlight there? As I've told you before, when you're starting out something like this, it may look a little wonky. Don't let it throw you. Okay. Let's work our dark. I've seen so many people when they start something like this, and they think that it looks bad, when in effect it's not. I've got an area here that I missed that was skin. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. I'll shade that later. Actually, I'll go ahead and do it now while I'm thinking about it. There we go. Much better. All right. Dark here. And then our medium. Notice how I'm back blending my medium color over my dark to make it look natural. And then my gold. And back a little bit with my medium. Ooh. Going out. Out. And then I'm going to come back with my dark because now I've got these areas here. And let me pull out. Check it out. Now, in these two areas here where we've got a side-by-side curl. Hi, Brittany. And I'm going to take black And I'm going to shade next to that curl. And notice how that starts to define them. So putting the black on this creates a darker brown. And that fits in with our motif. Meanwhile, I'm going to take my dark brown and I'm going to define these edges of these curls. And that lays the groundwork for the rest of my colors that I'm putting in. Brittany, I'm sorry to hear you're having problems. Maybe it's just a matter of giving people time to answer your emails. See how I'm defining this, guys? Any question about how I'm defining this? Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, Stacy, that's a good point. It is spring break and a lot of people do take time off. Any questions? Let me pull out. Isn't that beautiful? Now, the way that I'm doing this is that it defines where all our curls are going to be. And check out how that's really giving shape now to our head. And yes, you are hearing Vicky bark. And let me catch this little hair here. That's sticking out from the side. There's my dark. Here's our medium. And again, notice that I'm enhancing this with the two colors, right? All right, let's take a look at this. Now, let me continue with my dark color. And again, don't forget to turn your pencil when you do that lift. And that way your point stays as sharp as possible for what? As long as possible. All right. Guys, give me a second. All right. Thank you for your patience. Yeah, her hair is getting there. Now, you may wonder why I'm going through and doing all this at once. And the answer is because it gives me a really good visual. And that visual tells me how this piece is going to look with the way I'm doing the shading. And you can already see how this is starting to pan out. Any question about that? Okay. Oops. Got another little spot that I missed. All right. Let's bring in the medium. Check it out. And then my light, which is my goldish color. And then depending how you want it to look, I'll come back with my medium and dampen down that gold just a little bit. All right, let me do my one little area here. Here's my medium. And then my gold, or lighter brown. Here's my medium. And here's my lighter brown, or my gold. And I'm going to come back in with my medium on that. Remember, with pencils, your colors underneath show through. Here's my medium. And my gold. With a little bit of my medium. All right, let me pull out. What I want you to see, and I want you to think about this for hair. When you get your hair colored at the hairstylist, they don't just dump one color on your head. They're going to add those highlights in that make your hair look really good. And that way then, when you go out in the sun, you get those different colors showing through. All right, hang with me. I just want to do one little area here. Here's my medium. Does that make sense to you guys about hair? I don't know how many of you get your hair colored. I don't anymore. Here's my gold. Here's my gold up here. And notice that I'm also running my gold over my dark. All right, let me do 2 more swatches and then I'm going to wrap up. So here's my medium. And remember how I always told you? See how I angled this? You don't want to go straight across when you're going to be combining colors. Otherwise, it's going to look funny. Now, if you're not sure how your hair colors are going to look when you go to put them on your page, do a little sampling color on a blank piece of paper. Okay, there's my gold. And I'm going to come back over it with my medium just a little bit. Want to get that blended in. All right, let me pull out. Check it out. Look how vibrant that looks. I'm just going to diminish my gold a little bit up here. And again, by having that gold on the underneath this medium color, it's making our medium color look really cool. Looking good. All right, let me pull out. It's coming. What do you think? Now, the reason that I added that touch of the reddish brown in the hair is because I wanted to pick up the mauve color. And it's a very subtle connection between the two colors. So whether you realize it or not, that's what's making this look good together. And you as the colorist know it's there. Nobody else does. All they know is that the piece looks really good and it looks cohesive. Okay. I'm ready to call it a night. Thank you for hanging out. So we worked on our City and Girl coloring book, and we worked on our hair on our Moonlight Girl. I hope you've been enjoying this. Okay, guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. Love on each other. That's what our group is known for. Oh, look at that bit of brown on her nose. Isn't that funny? Let me get rid of that. There we go. Guys, take care. Do me a huge favor. Click that like button. Share this broadcast. Also, you can share it on your timeline. Please click that share button and put it on your timeline and let people know about the group. If you appreciate what I do, help me. And we have our lady with our little mole on her neck. Right, Stacy? Okay, guys, I'll see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. I just noticed I didn't color her ear. I'll have to do that tomorrow night. All right, guys. Love ya. Bye.